Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video. This time I'm going to be doing my Jund Pioneer deck profile, obviously with including Daemogoth Titan, which I have faith in, but I did change the ratios and the whole idea behind the deck. I made it where it actually plays more ramp and uses other creatures that can benefit with this deck as well as synergize. So I feel like I said a lot before and did mention a lot of the cards, but I'm just going to continue with the deck profile and explain the cards that you guys haven't noticed. So, like in my past videos of this deck profile, I'm using a playset of Bloodtith Harvester, Bone Crusher Giant, just 2 Daemogoth Titan. I realize sometimes if you draw too many, you can end up breaking, and you always need a creature in order to sacrifice if you want to attack or block with this guy. So I think playing 2 is good enough, because most of the time you just want to see 1. So even if you do open 2, at least the good thing is you eventually it's not a dead draw after. Obviously we're playing a playset of Flamewake Phoenix, 1 Galta Primal Hunger. This one obviously is new to the deck, but you can benefit it using Daemogoth, or you have cards that can actually reduce mana cost. But basically how this card works is that this spell costs X converted less to cast, where X is the total power of creatures you control and has trample, and it's a legendary creature, so basically means it loses that much mana depending on the creatures you control total power. So with Daemogoth, essentially is just a 2 green only. 1 Goreclaw, same thing, but it only applies to creatures with the power 4 or greater. They cost 2 less, even though he may be weak and he costs 4, but at the same time it's mainly just to get increase your setup even more. But anytime he attacks, each creature you control with power 4 or greater gets 1/1 and gains trample, so essentially more trample just in case you want to deal excessive damage. We're playing a 5 cost, which happens to be Gigantha, the Wellspring. Again, with this deck, you're not going to be using the companion because I don't really need to explain it, but it's mainly for ramp as well. But basically how it works, you can tap this card at 1 white, blue, black, red, or green, but it can't be spent to pay generic mana costs. So in case you want to be able to use it to play your sorceries, your instants, summon big creatures, if you don't have the right colors for them, that's what it's really there for. And again, playset of Rekindling Phoenix, Umori the Collector. Again, not going to use the companion build like I mentioned before, but again to reduce the cost of your creatures. And you're usually going to choose that simply because that's what you're mainly focusing on with this deck. 2 Garruk's Uprising. Originally I tried 4, but I feel like 2 is enough because I feel like, yes, it would be nice to see more early game, but at the same time it can eventually be a dead draw. But it's always nice to see 1 just in case, because it doesn't determine how many times you can drop, but it all depends how many times you summon a creature with power 4 or greater. So each time you summon 1, you draw 1. Obviously for our instance, 4 Fatal Push, 4 Lightning Strike. Our other lands, we're going to be playing 4 Blackleaf Cliffs, 3 Blood Crypt, 1 Blooming Marsh, Boseiju Who Endures, Copperline Gorge, 4 Dragon Skull Summit, 2 Forest, 3 Mountain, 1 Overgrown Tomb, Stomping Ground, 3 Swamp, and just in case I forgot, we're playing 3 Blood Crypt, because I feel like I haven't said that earlier, but I'll be sure to check back on the video. And our sorcery, just playing 4 Thoughtseize. Again, overall, don't really need to say much. Just helps you early game, and it disrupts their early game state, so that it doesn't help them thrive after. For our sideboard, I actually did get rid of the creature board wipes, because in case I want to play cards where they can activate during my opponent's turn, in case that may be a problem for me, but it's a lot more flexible. So we're just playing 3 Blast Zone, 3 Biforce, 1 cast down. So this is again a new card. So again with this deck is like you can easily deal excessive damage. I don't really focus too much on trying to board wipe, but it's good because it's instant and it destroys a non-legendary creature. As well as we're gonna go 3 Feed the Swarm to get rid of problem creatures, enchantments, although we might lose the life equal to the mana value, but in the day really helps. 2 go for the throat. Another flexible card because our deck is mainly just trying to deal as much damage as we can and have a huge board, and having instants during your opponent can really help because a lot of times if you board wipe, sometimes it puts you at risk because it was like all that mana for what? So you can just get rid of your board after just because you fear what your opponent's going to do to you, but it's to keep them on the field so that you can just keep pummeling them. And the last card, 3 Soul Guide Lantern. Again, it's another card that lets you exile your entire opponent's graveyard, as well as if you don't really, and then if you don't need to do that, if you know there isn't anything useful in the graveyard, or the grave is empty or not, they don't have many cards, you could pay 1 mana, sack the Soul Guide Lantern, you draw a card. But again, this video wasn't going to be too long, guys, because I've done this video multiple times with previous deck profiles. This is just an update, but considering the new changes, I'm starting to really dig this deck profile, and I feel it's a lot more interesting to look at. But again, I feel like I said enough for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content later in the future. Be sure to check your notifications. Comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.